Have you ever sat quietly with your grown child and suddenly heard words that made your heart ache? Not loud words, not yelling, but something soft and cutting, maybe a dismissive tone, or a sentence that left you questioning everything you had ever done as a parent. You may have thought, they are just having a bad day, or maybe I am too sensitive. But what if those words were more than just a moment of frustration? What if they were a warning sign? A sign that your relationship may be unhealthy, unbalanced, and even hurtful. This video is not about giving up on your children. It is about recognizing when your love, time, and dignity are being taken for granted. It is about protecting your peace and your heart. Yes, even from your own family. Let us begin. As parents, we are used to sacrificing. You raised them, you comforted them, you gave what you had, sometimes even when it was not enough for yourself. And even now, you may still try to help, to guide, to love. But what happens when that love is not returned with respect? Here are some important phrases to pay attention to. If you hear these often, it may be time to set boundaries for your own emotional health. 1. You already told me that. They say it with a sigh or with a half smile. You already told me that. It seems harmless, but to an aging parent, it can feel like a slap of embarrassment. In that moment, you are not being seen as wise or experienced or full of memories. You are being seen as someone who forgets. When you share a story again, it is not always because you forgot you said it. Sometimes it's because the memory brings you joy, or maybe it's a moment you hold dear, and sharing it is your way of staying connected to someone you love. Repeating a story does not mean you are slipping. It means you are trying to reach out. As we age, memory changes. Some details fade and some moments shine even brighter. So when a child cuts you off with that one sentence, it can feel like being pushed into silence. That silence hurts more than words. It grows into isolation. You start to wonder if your stories, your past, even your presence, still matter. All you really want is to be heard. You want your child to smile and say, "I remember that one. It's a good story." Or even just let you finish, knowing it matters to you. Because it's not about the facts. It's about the feeling, the bond, the moment of connection. You are not a burden for remembering things differently. You are not less because you repeat. Every story you tell is a thread in the tapestry of your family. Your voice deserves to be honored, not dismissed. This one phrase may seem small, but the wound it leaves is deep. It is not about forgetting. It is about feeling that your voice no longer matters. You deserve better. You deserve to be heard, again and again, with love. 2. You would not understand. These words fall like a wall. You wouldn't understand. Just 4 words, but they say so much. They say, "You're out of touch. You're from a different time. You don't get it." And worst of all, they say, "Your opinion isn't needed." To a parent, hearing this from your own child is heartbreaking. You spent your life teaching them, guiding them, helping them through moments they never even realized were difficult. And now, suddenly, you are seen as someone who couldn't possibly relate. Of course, times have changed. The world moves fast, technology evolves, and trends shift. But wisdom doesn't expire, experience doesn't go out of date, and love, patience, and understanding, those are timeless. When your child says this, you might smile and step back. But inside, it creates distance. It makes you feel shut out from their world. And that distance, it feels cold. It makes you question your role, your value, your place in their life. Instead, imagine if they said, "I know it's different now, but I'd love to hear what you think." That simple invitation could change everything. It brings closeness, it shows respect, it says, "You still matter." You may not understand every detail of their world, but your heart still understands them. You've been through struggles too. You've felt fear, joy, failure, and triumph. You have more in common than they realize. Being understood is important, but being allowed to try, to be part of the conversation, that's what truly makes you feel loved. You deserve to be seen as more than just from another time. You deserve to be seen as the wise, loving parent who still has so much to give. 3. You owe me. When a child starts acting like you owe them something, your time, your money, your home, your energy, it becomes a heavy burden. You spent decades working hard, building a life, sacrificing your own comfort to provide for your children. That is love, not a debt. You did it because it was your responsibility and your joy. But once they become adults, your job as a parent shifts. You are no longer required to carry their weight. If your child speaks or acts like you owe them, whether it's by guilt-tripping you for money, asking you to watch the grandkids every weekend, or expecting you to solve their problems, you must recognize it. That mindset is dangerous. It drains your spirit. It makes you feel like you are never enough. You deserve peace. You deserve rest. And above all, you deserve respect. Relationships built on guilt and obligation do not bring love, they bring resentment. You can still love your children deeply and also set healthy boundaries. Let them know. Love is not alone. 4. Why can't you just help more? This phrase often comes when you are already doing so much. You may be watching their kids, giving them money, offering advice, or running small errands, and still, they ask for more. It feels like your best is never enough. But here is the truth. You have already given a lifetime of help. You are not lazy. You are not selfish. You are simply tired. And that is okay. Many elders push beyond their limits to please their children, neglecting their own health, their needs, their emotional well-being. This pattern, over time, causes stress, illness, and emotional burnout. And when your help is taken for granted, it hurts more deeply than any physical wound. Helping should come from a place of joy, not pressure. If your child cannot see all that you have already done, they may never see it, until you gently step back and draw a clear line. You are not a failure for saying, "I need to rest." You are wise for knowing your limits. 5. You're too old to understand. Few phrases cut deeper than this. It pushes you to the side, as if your years of experience, your life lessons, your sacrifices, and your wisdom mean nothing in today's world. Yes, times have changed, technology moves fast, but human nature, love, trust, hard work, those values never go out of style. When a child dismisses you with words like this, it creates a wall. It shuts down communication. It makes you feel invisible, like your voice no longer matters. But your voice does matter. You have lived through wars, recessions, heartbreak, and triumph. You have earned every wrinkle with experience and strength. And your insights are more valuable now than ever, especially in a world that moves too fast to think deeply. Next time someone says you are too old to understand, remind them, maybe I've just lived long enough to understand more than you realize. 6. You were never there for me. Sometimes this comes from a place of real hurt. Other times it comes from pain your child never outgrew. Either way, it's a painful accusation that leaves scars. You might have worked long hours to keep food on the table. You might have been emotionally unavailable at times because you were under pressure, in survival mode, or simply trying your best. But to hear, even now, that your efforts were worthless, it breaks the heart. As parents, we carry guilt, even when we did the best we could. But holding you hostage with that guilt, that is not love. That is emotional manipulation. If your child says this, gently invite a real conversation. Ask, what did you need from me that you felt you did not receive? But do not take on all the blame. A relationship cannot heal if only one person is willing to look inward. Remember, You did the best you could with the tools and the strength you had at the time, and that counts for something. 7. You're just being difficult. Sometimes when you say no or set a boundary, your child may accuse you of being stubborn or hard to deal with. But here is the truth. You are not difficult. You are finally protecting your peace. After 60, your time becomes more valuable. Your energy is not endless. Saying no is not an act of rebellion. It is self-care. You are allowed to choose what feels right for you. This phrase, "you're just being difficult," is often used to silence you. It tries to make you feel guilty for having needs, opinions, or limits. But that is not fair, and it is not loving. You are not being difficult. You are being clear. You are not being selfish. You are being self-aware. You spent your life saying yes to everyone else. Now you have every right to say yes to yourself. 8. Your future is still yours. Live it on your terms. If there is one truth we all come to realize as we age, it is this: time becomes more precious than money, and peace more valuable than praise. You have spent a lifetime giving your love, your time, your support. But retirement is not an ending. It is a new chapter, one where you finally get to choose the pace, the people, and the path. Protect your peace. Guard your finances. Speak your boundaries with calm strength. Let your children build their own lives, just as you once built yours. This is not selfish, it is necessary. It is how you keep your dignity, your independence, and your spirit intact. Remember, wisdom is not just in what you give, but in what you choose not to give anymore. And now, I want to ask you something. Which of these 7 things have you been holding on to for too long? And which one are you finally ready to let go of? For your health, your happiness, and your future, tell me in the comments. Let us support each other, because no one should feel alone in this journey. And if this video gave you strength or clarity, even a little, please give it a like. It helps more elders like you find this wisdom. Share it with a friend or family member who might need this reminder. And do not forget to subscribe to Wisdom for Elders. We are here every week with life-changing advice to help you age with pride, peace, and power. Until next time, stay wise, stay kind to yourself, and never forget, you still matter, you're still growing, and your best days can still be ahead.